What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. So, without further ado, let's get into this one. Yesterday was the kickoff press conference for Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. As usual with these guys, there's not really that much you can read into it. Both guys seem pretty confident. Francis Ngannou very calm, very sort of sure of himself. He seemed very relaxed in the boxing environment. There wasn't really any trash talk that came out of it. As Anthony Joshua, he's not much of a talker. He's not a guy that's gonna sort of rile up or wind up his opponents. He just seems, pretty honest in what he says. Seems pretty confident and calm, and saying he's going to win the fight, and Ngannou, pretty much the same. So there's not really too much to take away from the initial press conference. Pretty calm. You get Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn on the same table, and for me, one of the major things that sort of stuck out from this whole thing, presser and that, is that His Excellency, as we all say nowadays, Turkey Al Sheikh, he came out with a comment and said that he wants to see a Queensbury versus Matchroom card. He wants to see, I think it was 5 from Queensbury versus 5 from Matchroom, and he wants to see a sort of a promoter versus promoter, promotional company versus promotional company thing, where you get those fighters from some from Matchroom, some from Queensbury, and they all face off against each other. And after that, I saw Frank Warren in an interview I watched, saying that he's happy to do it, and he said he wanted to sort of place a wager on it as well. And to me, I find I find that very interesting, um, because you go back maybe just about a year or two, and this sort of idea of Matchroom, Queensbury working together, and let alone a card like this, it would be laughable. You couldn't bring these two guys together to save your life. But here we go again. We see that when it comes to money, money can sort of, as the Bible says, money can answer all things, um, and it's quite something that it seems that pretty much whatever idea or whatever vision this guy says, His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh says, whoever's on that table just like, oh yeah, I agree, yeah. Do you want to do a tournament together, Frank? Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do whatever idea. So, um, I think it's one of those things that it sounds crazy given the history of the last few years, over the last decade or what, or however long it's been, where with a lot of these promotional companies, PBC, Queensbury, Matchroom, Top Rank, everyone's been, a lot of it is about being out for yourself, sort of thing, and the idea of working with other promoters is always sort of, some guys do it. I've seen Matchroom do it, Top Rank do it sometimes. Seen Queensbury, so I've seen them do it on occasion, but not with. It's not something they tend to do with regularity. But it is something that, as a fan, I would really like to see, because a lot of times what separates and what stops the big fights from happening, fights that I would really be interested in seeing, is the politics, is the red tape of whose TV channel is it going to be on, whose network is it going to be on, is it going to be on DAZN, is it going to be on TNT? There's always sort of something blocking it, but now with Turkey Al Sheikh coming in and presenting these ideas, and I guess dashing, throwing this amount of money at it, it seems that essentially that kind of breaks all the barriers down because the promoters and they're in it to get the best deal, the most money for themselves, and of course, the best deal for their fighters. And Queensbury versus Matchroom is a fantastic deal. I mean, there's a lot of jeopardy in it because obviously, if it does come together, and you get one side, let's say it's 5 fights, and let's say it's 4-1 to Queensbury, then that can do damage to Matchroom's reputation to a certain degree, and vice versa. If Matchroom, do clean sweep or whatever, or they win let's say 4-1 or something, lopsided, the Matchroom fighters win most of their fights, then yeah, it can sort of make you look bad. But at the same time, I think if you want to prioritize the fans, then something like this is exactly what we need. The two promoters put in their bet, and to be fair to Frank Warren, I think Frank Warren has actually proposed this idea in the past. If I'm not mistaken, it's about I want to say maybe 2 years ago that he had his it's either I think he had like his team so make a poster of like 10 of his best from Queensbury versus 10 of the best from Matchroom. So to be fair to Frank Warren, he's kind of proposed this sort of idea before. So he, in times past, he's shown that he's kind of up for this sort of idea of his fighters versus Eddie Hearn's fighters. So yeah, it's something that it's not a new idea, but I think yeah, in my view, if they can pull it off, and I think with this guy Al Sheikh, they pretty much can pull off whatever they want. I mean, even the Day of Reckoning, a lot of those fights were sort of short-ish notice. I think 6 weeks out or 5 weeks out, or maybe a couple of months at the most. Some of those fights were sort of late notice jobs, but when you throw that many millions at a fighter, the fighter's going to fight, they're going to jump on it, and they're going to take it. And you can't blame the fighter, because at the end of the day, if I'm a professional fighter and, I can get this amount of money for fighting, let's say in the UK, with a lot of notice, a big camp and whatever, but if I split that time in half and I can get, I don't know, triple or double the money or whatever for doing this thing in Saudi Arabia, you, as the fighter, you're going to have to take the bigger payday, because at the end of the day, it's a very short career that you have as a fighter. And it's the type of career that, because of how dangerous boxing can be, your career can be cut short at any moment. Just the wrong punch in the wrong place, could end your career. And then, that's it. That's your sort of money making days are over as far as being a prize fighter. So, yeah, for the fighters, this would be a great thing, and you can understand this is their time to shine. Take the offer that's going down. But yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. A Matchroom versus a Queensbury show where you've got some of the best from Matchroom versus the best from Queensbury. Also, let me know what you thought about the opening press conference for Francis Ngannou, Anthony Joshua. Can we read much into it? So let me know your thoughts, and until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out. Catch you on the next video.